Sports Live on a Tuesday night. I'm Ramon Scott. I'm joined by my partner at EastCountySports.com, Dave Dickens. And Dave, we've got two members of those undefeated, top-ranked Division IV contending Santana Sultans. Dave, the team is bigger than life out at Santana. If you've been out there to the parking lot at the community stadium, you'll know what I'm talking about. We'll talk about that with the guys in just a minute. It's seniors. Nathan Temple, the quarterback who has 10 of his guaranteed 40 touchdown passes this year. We'll let him think about whether he's going to stick by that prediction. And Nathan Hughes, also a senior, coming on strong. Hey, the Sultans might have needed one extra guy to kind of bring them over the hump this year, and I think Mr. Hughes is the guy that's going to fill that role. That's kind of what Coach Estes said, Dave, and that's kind of what we've got. And we got the two Nathans with us, Dave.
Yeah, we do indeed, and I had the pleasure of seeing how packed that stadium was this last week in the big win over the Mariners, and boy, talk about the last two times you played them. This one, Oil, you didn't even let them in the end zone.
No, yeah, I mean, past two times playoffs was crazy. It was 23-6. Everything we lost during the season, had a lot of guys injured. Came back in playoffs, knew they were going to be a tough team, and then ended up winning 23-6. That was a big game. Defense stepped up, but we lost a lot of those defensive players that we had because seven of them were seniors. They all played defense. They were gone, and we had a couple people step up, like Cameron Levikia this past game, and we shut them down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and folks, Dave and I don't know if Dave will remember. I'm going to call our boys Temple and Hughes. I mean, that's what Coach Estes does to keep these guys apart. So I'm just going to say it right now. Hughes, tell me about some of those guys on defense stepping up. If you've needed guys to step up, Cam Laricia, Luke Simonek, Jared Forster, Mike Richter. He was big in the last game too, right? Tell me about it. You guys put a running clock on these guys in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was insane. Cameron Laricia is a great ball player. I expect huge things from him the rest of this year. And Luke Simonek, it doesn't get bigger than Luke out there. He's a fan favorite for sure out there. And Richter, his motor, it doesn't stop. It really doesn't. And Forster, no one's getting past him.
Dave, I know you want to
with Luke,
guys as your players of the week this week. Dave, go ahead, Dave. I'll let you talk about their award. I just want to mention Nathan Temple, 12 of 15 passing, 5 touchdowns in the first half. 2 of those went to Hughes. 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, Dave, and these guys are 2 of your athletes of the week. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was going to just touch on Luke since we were talking about him as a fan favorite. It seems much of a serious, somber, get down to business type of guy.
Yeah. Doesn't talk much, just gets to business.
No, not at all. Does not talk, just does his thing.
So especially as far as Mr. Temple is concerned, you.
I might just jump in here and keep the interview rolling unless I get Dave back. Nathan, go ahead, Dave. Say it again unless you caught that, Temple.
Yeah, I was just asking Mr. Temple, how about Luke and your protection? I mean, you would go to war with him, right?
Oh, I mean, he's a huge part of our line. Our line is great. We got Jordan Ortiz, Luke Simonek. We got Gumby out there, Andrew Gumbieski. We got Adrian, we have Adrian out there, and then we have Jace Lynch, and they're all a big line. They're great. They work hard. They do their thing. I mean, they keep the defense off me.
Now, tell me in this last game, Mr. Temple, how were you this time around against the Mariners? I mean, was it just because you played them so much as of late that you were able to pick apart their secondary like that?
Yes. So we really studied film hard this time, knowing that this was going to be a big game going into it and knowing their defense and how they always play. They usually shut us down pretty instant. So we really picked apart the defense on Monday's practice. Then going into Tuesday, we worked it out. Film helped out a ton, so I knew what was going to be open going into the game. And sure enough, stuck to the game plan, picked apart the defense going short, and then hit some deep routes.
And Mr. Hughes, how did you feel coming in as part of this deal now? I mean, you're one of Mr. Temple's favorite guys now.
Yeah, me and Temple have been working together since freshman year, but I've had a couple of injuries slow me down. And you see Randy Smith, he's unbelievable and been Nate's go-to guy. And I'm just trying to be there to support Nate and give Randy some rest on some plays.
You guys got some rest, I think, in this last game, and I don't want to look ahead. I mean, I think we'll handle Sweetwater this week. Nathan Hughes, tell me about your preparations for the week. Hey, this team right now, it's the first time the Sultans have been 3-0 it was 8 years ago that this team got off to a 3-0 start. I think that Coach, he prepped us. I think we're in position I think we were expected to be in right now, maybe as Division IV favorites. When you guys beat Sarah in week 2, I noticed you guys kind of, when we did those preseason interviews, kind of pointed to that game, but I don't think it was because Temple got injured last year. I think Coach was kind of preaching, hey, this is a big, big game when it comes to possibly getting that home game, extra home games in November. Was that the focus in that Sarah game?
I believe so. We knew they were going to be hard to beat, especially on the road. And they were without their best player, Kyle Simpson, but we had to get to business, and we got the job done in the end. So to answer your question, yes, it was more for the playoff seed, I believe.
And Nathan Hughes, he's handling. Nathan, are you handling most of the kicking chores or all of the kicking chores?
All of the kicking chores.
Dave, you were looking for a guy to step up, this season for those special teams, and Hughes booted a 29-yard field goal in addition, I believe, last week. I got you, David. David might be frozen. Okay, let's continue on with. Yeah, no, I'm going to continue on with my boys. Nathan Temple, tell me about this running game. I think we expected Brooks Mutah to kind of shoulder the load a little bit. If anything, his consistency is really, really impressive. Yes, he has the ability to break out big games, I think, if you needed him to. But right now, the balance with your great passing game, he's having some guys kind of help him a little bit in those duties. Donnie Kelly and Dawood Sadler. Tell me about these guys.
Yes, sir. So absolutely, I'd say that our running game absolutely sets up that passing game that we have, and our passing game sets up that our running game. And using all those guys, constantly switching them, they can't focus on one, and they can't stop it. Switching between Dawood Sadler, Brooks Mutah, and Donnie Kelly, there's different formations, different plays. We can run all the same stuff. We can run different stuff, and they just can't stop it. And honestly, it's setting us up for the next game and next game after that, every game. We don't even have to show everything that we have because we're sticking with the simple plays that we've been using. And by switching those guys, we're getting other guys breathers, and it's keeping us in the game and healthy.
Hey, Nate, we'll get Dave on as soon as I see him pop back up. I want to get him on. I'm going to keep you on, though, and just keep talking about this. And I mentioned, you guys are maybe larger than life stars right now. In the world of varsity football, people are going to look up to the football players and the football team, especially if they're successful. But, if you go into the parking lot of Santana High School right outside of Community Stadium, you're going to see some beautiful giant poster banners of these guys. Talk about larger than life. These things, Luke Simonek is one of the biggest guys, Nathan Hughes, and I think those banners that you guys have attached to the light posts outside the stadium are even bigger than Luke.
Yeah, they're huge. They're really cool too.
Yeah, tell me about what you thought when you heard you were getting some of these banners out there. I'll describe them. In fact, I have Nathan's here. I don't want to embarrass you, brother. Nathan, I have Nathan Temple's right here, a picture of it.
Go for it. Show it off.
But look at
that. Beautiful quarterback there.
Hey, yeah, look at that. Some man love going on. But, yeah, so when you guys got wind of these, maybe you thought, because every year there's maybe some things that we put by the field, especially on senior night. We get some nice posters done. But man, when you saw these things, they started when Coach Estes and Coach Kelly and the guys that are out there hanging these banners up. What did you think when you saw those things, man?
Oh my gosh, Nate, do you wanna start off with this?
Yeah,
one?
yeah, I'll take this one. So way back when they started offering things that we might get during the season by saving up, by taking all these, what are they called? We were doing like cookie dough fundraisers, selling Sultan cards. So we're all saving up all this money, and they're giving us ideas. Like we have the posters, we have the smoke machine. We were talking about the tunnel, and we're all talking about these things. And Coach Kelly brings up the posters. He's like, I think it would be really cool to get like a life-size poster of you guys. We'll hang them up, and it's gonna be awesome. They're like, we'll pick your pictures. You go in there, new jerseys. It's awesome. So then comes around, they say that they got them. They're gonna put them up, and the first one's mine, and I get sent it immediately by the coach. And I'm like, dude, this thing looks awesome. And everybody else's was following in after that. And these things are bigger than life, like you said. Like it really gets to show like who the players are. Everybody gets to know who you are, and you really get to represent your city and your town and your school.
Yeah, Nate Hughes. I kind of equate it, when you go down to like the Aztec games, or if you attend a major sporting event like an all-star game or a playoff, and in downtown they kind of make the banners of the teams and the stars, just like a major college or a professional city. So when you saw those, man, I mean, that's just was so cool. But I kind of wanted to equate it to the fact that, you guys are kind of poised for success. You guys have built this yourselves. You guys are the guys that are performing on the field right now as an undefeated team. And, as you approach a potential league championship or a postseason bid, that's going to generate more excitement. And I'm sure your peers around school are already fired up for you guys. But as we approach those big games and to have those banners, I mean, it creates a real cool atmosphere.
Yeah. It's really cool. I mean, the goal is to get more people to transfer over to Santana and get them playing for our program.
Hey, Nathan Temple, tell me about it. I mean, this week we're playing Sweetwater. They have played up a little bit on their schedule, so I think there's a little bit of concern there. You guys are probably expected to win this football game, but you have many more football games on the horizon that are going to be important, especially as we head to league play. But just tell me about what's going on this week in preparation for the Red Devils.
So our team so far has never played this team before, so we don't know what to expect exactly. I just got into film lately. They have a defense. They run it just like Sarah. So we're going to figure out how to pick that apart just like we did against Sarah. It might take a little bit, but we're going to figure it out. We know they have some big kids, so you never know when that can be an issue, so we'll work around it. We've seen that they've been able to put up points. I'm sure our defense will be able to stick up and step up against them. They'll stop them, but we're expecting a big win.
Yeah, it's been about a dozen years since the Sultans have met Sweetwater. Nathan Hughes, the first time that Santana High played Sweetwater High in a football game was 50 years ago. How about that? Hey, tell me about Temple throwing the ball to you guys. Hey, not only you and Randy, but some of your other receivers as well. Just this past week, Donnie Kelly also caught some passes out of the backfield. Tell me about who's getting the ball. Hey, I want to throw in a couple of other guys to correct me on these guys. Nick Brass, and Dean Landers, trying to get all these guys involved. You never know when you need them now. You're getting them playing time. Tell me about them.
Yeah, so we have Dean. He's a very tall receiver, and he's really quick. And he's only a junior. I'm really excited to see what he will do the rest of this year and next year. And Forster, he's all around talent, and he has another year to develop as well. Nick Brace, one of the hardest runners I'll ever see run. He doesn't fear contact and just leads the running game when he's in. He's a monster.
Temple, what do you do when you got all these weapons? Are you in an RPO all the time? Do you have? I mean, your connection with Smith. I mean, it's one of the best in the county. I mean, it's got to be up there statistically, especially if you look over the past, season and a half, or I guess the time you've been back.
Right.
We measured everybody up. I think in the county, a 1-2 combination. I don't know if there's anybody that can match up with you two guys, but. You got extra guys now. What reads do you go through when you got all these guys?
I mean, having a lot of weapons to use during the game is amazing because now it's not just Randy, it's not just Jared, it's not just Nate. You can use Dean, you can use these other running backs, you use Jason, you can use Donnie. You have all these guys that they can use that can't focus in on one guy because once they stop one, we'll just go to the other one. And that's how we're picking apart this defense, is that we're utilizing all our weapons at once so that we can use the big guys when we need to and we can get the big play when we have to. And it's honestly beautiful. It sets up everything. It sets up our running game, it sets up our passing game, and we can use it in many different ways on our offense. Read option, play action, we can use all that. It's just, it all works beautiful when you have a ton of weapons, and that's what our team has, so it's doing great.
Well, I'm kind of giving you the business and teasing you about your prediction. I mean, it's obviously not out of the question, but here's the problem, Temple. How are you going to get 40 touchdowns? You keep putting these guys on a running clock, and you're running the ball in the second half.
I mean, that's why I got to get on my defense for that. I mean, our defense has been so good, and they're so well taught by Coach Kelly out there. They're strong. They shut down a running game as soon as they see it, and our passing defense is absolutely beautiful. It's just, I mean, it's an issue for me, but it's beautiful for our team to keep the wins coming along. But on my way to 40, we're just going to have to push that into playoffs, I think. I mean, we're hoping for 15 games. We're looking for a championship, and we're going to see that. And I think we're going to push all the way, hopefully, to state. And I believe our team has the talent and the strength and the mindset to do that. But
go ahead, Nate.
But yeah, like you said, to get to 40, I'm going to need this defense to hold off a little bit.
Hughes, don't you think that 35-10 and 35-7 games like that, that's a little bit more what we need than 70-50, right?
Yes. I mean, starters to stay in.
It's nice when it's a closer game, but not close, but closer than 70-0, or as long as the defense keeps doing their job.
Right. I think the defense is proving it, right now, that you don't need to get into those. I mean, look, something happens down the line, we get into some crazy matchup again with one of these top contending teams, maybe that could happen. But until then, and I was looking, at the potential matchup of I believe, like Patrick Henry. That'd be real interesting, guys. I mean, that kind of reeks of that night last season. That could be an incredible game, but let's worry about that when we get there. Right now, I mean, we can almost talk about the league potential of a league title. We got games until then. I'm going to get with you guys hopefully before then. But look what one of our chat members said, so I'll ask you about it now. Hey, Temple, is that trophy coming back down Mass Boulevard this year?
Yes, it'll be coming to the Sultan Dome. I can guarantee you that.
Hughes, I don't want to upset those guys over in West Santee, and you don't have to, the way things are going, looks like the Sultans will be expected to maybe win that game, but you want to go out there and earn it and make sure that your class isn't the one that didn't get it done when you were expected to, right?
Yes, sir. I have a stepbrother that goes to West Hills on the varsity football team, so it's a little brother rivalry going on.
I'm writing that down right now. That's a storyline. coming up, you guys. All right. Well, I didn't get Dave back on. He must be having a technical issue, but we showed Hughes, you saw it before the show. We showed Temple a little patch that you're going to get for your Leatherman's jacket. It's the East County Sports Athlete of the Week. It's real cool. Embroidered patch, a statuette of a football guy, and just a great week. I think you'll even have bigger weeks this year, but it just seemed like a good time to get together because, you guys are 3-0. I want to talk to you guys about the, those banners for sure. That's really cool. So just keep it up, man. Don't look past the Red Devils and don't look past those non-league games. Looking forward and ahead to league play. But look, I think the storyline before the season was that the future was bright for potential titles for the Santana Sultans. And Nathan Hughes, Nathan Temple, you guys are off to a great start. Congratulations on that. But good luck and stay focused this season in those games. All right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Expect a lot more to come.
Thank you for having us.
Yep. All right. Nathan Hughes, Nathan Temple of the Santana Sultans, the 3-0 Santana Sultans, and they'll be taking on Sweetwater, this Friday night at Community Stadium. I'll be there, guys, so I'm going to bother you guys for a little post-game, probably, maybe even some pre-game. We might want to talk to you about those banners and record some things. All right, guys, thanks a lot. And for Dave Dickens, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.